Hey guys, Brian here, Stogie Review, and I've got with me Jonathan. Man,
I got enemies. Got a lot of enemies. You hear the drink?
What now? Oh, the drink. Oh, yeah, down there. Yeah, there's a little drink in the background. Yes. So, we've been running around the booth. We've been talking to some people, but what's going on with JRE Brands? We've heard some rumors about this.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I was afraid you weren't going to ask it.
I know. I almost did.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking about it, and really excited. It's as you guys know, 20 years for me at JRE State. You guys have been around for 10 of it,
Yep.
and you've blazed your own path. You've really augmented everything about new media, and JRE State as well has had a long run. And the next stage for me is not leaving JRE State behind, but it's incorporating two aspects of my life. Because, other than business, I pretty much got no life, I'll be honest with you. So I got my JRE side on the JRE State side, and now with the JRE Brands, we, 5 years ago, I bought 10 acres of land in Orlando to build a distillery with Jeff from Corona Cigar Company. But because he already has all these liquor licenses, he didn't qualify to be able to get into have our own brand together. So I moved forward on that one, but with my alone. And the last 3 years really prepared for this time period. So with JRE Brands, we're just hitting the market now. We'll be actually shipping in January. It was going to be in September, but my business partner and my mentor, he passed away the day before Father's Day. So I've kind of just slowed it down a little bit, regrouped. And now here's the products that we have coming out. First one is called Brixton Mash Destroyer. So you guys know the Brooklyn of London, the Brooklyn of England is called Brixton. It's a city. So Brixton Mash Destroyer, right? This is a product that's very unique, first time ever done before. This is a 4-year Kentucky straight bourbon mashed with a 5-year Florida rum. So it's bourbon and rum mashed together in one experience. Now, it's a 90 proof. It's going to be, like I said, hitting the market probably around January. And this has caught a lot of attention in the industry, even right down to the graffiti art on it. This is a 25-year industry vet in the graffiti world from Italy. This is the Madonna. Sits on top of the building in Italy. This is an international brand. So very rarely in the United States do you see a brand that's born of an international idea and origin. Everything in the U.S. when you're building a spirits brand, it's about what? Location, Kentucky water, the limestone, Colorado, the history of Ohio, India, whatever it is, right? Or family.
Yes.
Very rarely do you see a brand born in the United States, a spirits brand, built in an international capacity from minute one. So there's a lot of cool attributes to the Brixton Mash Destroyer. And just like when you think back, right? Go back to broadleaf. Go back to when we first introduced Liga Privada. And people started talking about stalk cutting.
Yeah.
You weren't walking into retail shops and the guy behind the counter saying, this one's primed and this is stalk cut. Let me tell you about stalk cutting. It's been going on for 100 years or more, right?
Yeah.
200 years. But who was talking about it? The education that Drew brought into the mix was when we discussed stalk cutting, what does it mean for a product to be stalk cut? How does it influence the taste? Where does it take you? What are we looking for? The nutrients, how does it work? So even though it's been there before, Kentucky Fire Cure, we didn't create fire curing tobacco. They do it in Brazil, they do it in Italy, they do it. It's a big brand for us, right? Kentucky Fire Cure. That fire cure concept, we took something that's a time-honored. I love that one. We took that, bring it in, and then when we rewrap the package, we're explaining and educating what fire curing is, and all of a sudden people are like, yo, fire curing, is that like how Scotch is done? Yeah, man, it's how fish is done. Go to Europe, it's how a lot of things, smoking. It's how you do it in your backyard, smoking a steak. So what we do with fire curing, what we do with broadleaf, when you think about the word mash, how many times have you heard the word the mash bill? A mash bill, right? Ben shaking his head.
I hear about it a lot.
You hear about it?
Yeah.
So what does it mean? What is the mash bill
That's
mean?
all the grains, the grist that goes into the pork that you're making, that you're going to end up distilling.
Right. So that's pretty good. So if someone says something's got a high rye mash bill,
A lot of rye grain and high So.
because you're some kind of fucking genius. All right, but the rest of the world, like the broad people with the store cutting, they hear the word mash, they hear the word mash bill, and they kind of get an idea. But with the Bricks and Mash Destroyer, we're really bringing out the difference of tradition and destroying the tradition at the same time pulling it back. It's a very playful bourbon and rum together. You're talking a grain and a plant blended. So you got the John Drew. Secondly, packaging. Forget the fucking packaging. This is not the finished packaging, even close. There's no hillbilly fucking, Wild West shit over here. This is all getting steps done to a finished product. John Drew Rye. The John Drew Rye, also 90 proof, like the Bricks and Mash Destroyer. That's an Alberta, Canada rye, which Alberta, Canada rye is just on fire. Like Whistle Pig, Lock, Stock, and Barrel. There's a lot of it, even on the Diageo side, that Northern Rye, delicious. The Crown, excellent product. So with us, what we're doing with the Alberta rye is called John Drew Rye, part of the John Drew collection, which will eventually have a bourbon, etc. So that's the second product. Last product that we got for the opening is Dovetail Rum. Now, when you look at the Dovetail, think of it bright. Again, this is early packaging, right? So the neck label is bigger, this, that, but the rum is called Dovetail Rum. And the Dovetail, 80 proof. This is only for people who like a sweet rum. This is caramel, this is nougat, this is vanilla, this is friends and family rum. This is a real juicy, big finish, delicious friends and family rum. This is not for the guy who's looking for a 23-year aged rum. This is 4-year aged, 100% Florida rum, aged in bourbon barrels, or spent bourbon barrels. Not just bourbon barrels, because you can age something in bourbon barrels where there was no bourbon in it.
Yeah.
Okay. The difference between wine barrels, bourbon barrels.
Yeah. So
you got these products. That's what's new. JRE Brands. You can go to mashdestroyer.com. That's what I suggest doing. It's good for your mental health.
Yeah, it's good for your mental health. Good for your education.
Yeah, it's good for everything. Yeah. So that's what's going on that side of things. So I got both things cooking. On the Drew Estate side, we got the Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Which is this year, that's our only brand release as far as a new brand goes. The Deadwood products, the Crazy Alice, Sweet Jane, and all that stuff's been around for years and years, but now we're bringing it national. But Pappy Van Winkle, you guys, we do the Pappy Van Winkle just for the family. You can get those cigars at pappyco.com, and that's the barrel fermented tobacco. That's Kentucky Fire Cured tobacco that it doesn't taste fire cured, it tastes like totally different. We ship it to St. James Parish. We bang it out in the barrels, so we put it through the barreling process and ship it to Nicaragua. The one we released here is different. That's Pappy Van Winkle Tradition, which is a traditional cigar, right? So that one is blended by Willie Herrera, and Julian Van Winkle comes in to give the final approval on it. So that's where we are with that. That's going to go to DDRP only. Pappy Van Winkle Tradition. I guess it's probably the one I'm most excited for this year. We got Tubos, which are hot.
Yeah.
We got some pigs. We got some this and that. We got a lot of goodies. But new brands. That's. Plus you got Herrera Miami also.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. That's like, I guess the Herrera Miami and the Pappy Van Winkle Tradition. Those are really both two new brands and both, super. I think we make good products, man. Top to bottom, and Willie's doing a great job.
Yeah, Willie's doing a great job.
It's kind of funny, I start seeing things that we did 10 years ago that people are coming out with similar items now. Whether it's using different types of tobaccos, Oriental tobaccos, or Burley tobaccos, or Virginia tobaccos, or the way you process tobacco. I see people following shit we did 10, 12, 15 years ago. So think about it, when everybody's zigging Drew Estate Zaga, we went back to a very traditional cigar manufacturer, putting him as our master blender, which was Willie. A couple of years ago, think about it, we've always been kind of like the non-Cuban choice. We don't try to be a wannabe Cuban cigar, you know what happens when Cuba opens up, whatever?
Yeah.
What do you want to get the imitation shit for? You know what I'm saying? You're going to need to smoke an imitation to a Cuban when Cuba opens up?
Well, in theory, there'll be such a high demand that you won't be able to get them anyway.
Yeah, but that's business.
Yeah.
I'm talking about taste. I'm talking about
taste,
what
yeah.
someone wants. When you say it's close to Cuban,
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right?
If you can get the real deal, you won't. Yeah. Exactly.
so Drew Estate's always had its own flavor, its own experience, its own dimension. That's why Nicaragua was the right place for us, because Nicaraguan tobacco is so loud, it's so strong, it's so big and rich. It's its own thing, and it destroys Cuban tobacco. Now, on the other side of it, we've really found other dimensions of what we've done. But what I'm saying is, we kind of zig backwards and looking towards that traditional experience as Willie became the head, master blender. So, we're doing a lot of stuff that's kind of unorthodox, even when it's orthodox. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's good, dude. Little tweaks of tradition.
Yeah.
Little flavor of the tradition.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. Pedro Gomez, you guys met with him already.
Yep.
You got a lot of international stuff going on. Fabian internationally. You got Phil Zengi with Indian motorcycles, as well as Debonair. You know about the Debonair ideal?
Actually, I'm not as versed on that.
Do you know Phil Zengi? Have you guys met him yet?
I don't think we've met him yet.
So you know we have a brand called Debonair, right?
Aware of that, yes.
Do you know who Phil Zengi is? He started Indian Tobacco before Rocky.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
it was called
yeah,
Rocky
that's
Patel,
right.
it was Indian Tobacco.
Yes.
And Rocky became his business partner. Then as the years went by and Rocky became the dominant force, Rocky took out Phil. They're good friends, and Rocky became Rocky.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But Phil still stayed in the tobacco world, living in Dominican, Honduras for 10 years, 12 years, and then Dominican the last 10. So we've now taken his cigars out. So we have the Debonair, and we have the Indian motorcycles. And you can see him downstairs if you haven't seen him already. So that's also pretty cool. We're now working with him on this. This is our first IPCPR together.
Yeah. So how are you doing? How is John G doing? I noticed that.
Well, I'll tell you, man, you could, how am I doing on a personal level? I'm still getting to be creative. I'm still getting to be part of the culture that I helped build, the Drew Estate. I'm still getting to shake a lot of hands of people who loved us throughout the years, who we've inspired to open their own companies. I got guys who have car washes and they go in and, they are their inspiration, or guys who own baking goods, or guys who are builders of metal fabrication guys. I speak to so many people in so many different walks of life who say to me, dude, you inspired me to leave my job and create my own company. You inspired me to do this, or look at things a different way. So that is very positive. So I really enjoy that. And all of these people, you got 2,200 people working for Drew Estate. And, I still feel in some way that I'm connected to everybody. There's probably 500-600 people who I'm very connected to. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of roots that hold me grounded, On the spirit side, this is super exciting for me. I wanted to do this for a lot of years. Like I said, I put the 10 acres into the distillery 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I finally got things rolling. So that's good. And that's good. The industry is going to be good. We're going to go through some interesting moments. But I'm excited to see how things shake out. I think that the brands that are really solid brands, the Tatuajes and the Dion's and even the newer guys like Caldwell, I like him a lot, or Kyle. I like what Kyle's doing a lot too. Guys like Padilla, who's not the biggest brand in the world, but the brand's been around for 10 years, 12 years. There's a lot of them. And of course the Perdomos and Pepins and Olivas and stuff. So I'm excited to see everybody do well.
Yeah.
I like what I saw with Oliva going through their sale. And I think that their experience is going to be really good. There comes to be a certain time where your company gets so big that you need to have some muscle come in, some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's a big machine. It's a very big machine.
It's a big, good machine, and it needs to be able to have the fuel to continue to, whether it's grow or whether it's maintain. I don't know the right word for them, because they may want to grow. They may want to. Every company has a different way to look at what their future is. Like, I don't think, Fuente is terribly concerned with growing. You know what I mean? When I look at them, I think they're more concerned with just staying great.
Yes.
And they do that. They're good at that.
And their booth has remained the same for years and years and years. They haven't grown the size of the booth. It's just they're doing what they're doing. They're doing it the way they do it.
Don't kid yourself. I mean, I don't know, but they do.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure
They do pretty good. I imagine. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, like, I think their aspirations are to keep the legacy and the tradition going.
The growth isn't the focus.
And the growth isn't the focus. Where other companies have both in mind or one in mind. I think at Drew Estate, I know for me personally, legacy is what it's all about, and continuing with that legacy, continuing to keep everything going good. I think all of that is definitely Frank. Pass these over this way. I know you're coming in here.
I'll take that. I'm man. Just
I'm man.
How you doing?
We're doing an interview. We got Frank here, Frank Moreno, my business partner on this JRE Brands side. You guys will see more of Frank. We travel around a lot together. Sorry to be, you know. You guys want to see that JD's?
Yeah.
You know, I love you guys, man. You guys, it's always great to see you guys. I'm always happy to see. I remember when Ben came on board, and all of us were like, "Hey, that's cool as shit."
Yes.
You guys are a cornerstone of new media. You do it because you love it.
Yes.
You do it for you. I mean, that's why you guys do it. You ain't getting to be millionaires for this shit.
Oh no.
You do it for the passion, and you allow guys like us to have other forms of communication other than one magazine.
Yes.
Which has been very important because it was very hard for us to spread our word. So through new media, Drew Estate embraced you guys from the beginning, and we've always partnered. Oh yeah, no. So I'm saying is that, you know, I talk about myself and all the different shit that's going on our side, but for you guys, let me tell you something. We love to see it the move. We love to see the company doing well, and you guys are hardcore. So you know, you're delivering the goody goods for all of your viewers. You know.
Yeah.